And I'm back here live again. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the second part of this Sunday's stream. Still earlier than expected because of the night shifts I have to do today, which for me means leaving home at 8:30, as I had to start at 9:30ish. Well, actually at 10, but there's some things I need to do prior to starting everything up. And because of that, I need to be half an hour early. So, second part of the stream. Earlier today, I did Dawn of Defiance. And that basically ended after I defeated the last boss and got the rewards, which, in all fairness, I have to say, wasn't exactly my favorite fight. The way things are balanced, well, the game is an EA, so that may change, but the way things are balanced around that boss fights are not really the way I hope it would be. So, with that done, and since the game is in EA, and since we had finished that, I had the option to continue the game, exploring the islands, doing all kind of things, but there was no progress. The only progress would be, okay, we have copper now, let's mine tin, create bronze, get better armor, move over to another part of the island where I could actually get iron, get steel, etc., etc. No campaign progress. And with that in mind, I decided to stop that game and instead return to Aska. Now, Aska is also an early access game, and meanwhile we have Oshak already being back saying welcome back. Well, welcome back to you too. And I'm still not even having something done, so I will keep on rambling and typing at the same time. I hope it works. No, it doesn't. I can't talk in English and think in English and type at the same time. Well, mans can't do multitasking according to lots of people. So I'm going to finish this. Basically, I'm going to type the same thing I was just saying. Because I have to do a notification after all. There, Discord notification done. Now I can completely focus at game. There is one more thing I wanted to do, which I completely ruined because I copied other stuff, so the link I had actually prepared was gone. But I had mentioned that I got a bunch of kittens, and now I'm actually doing the wrong link stuff. I recorded them the very first week I got them. So for everybody who's able to, or everybody who's watching the VOD the upcoming week and haven't seen them yet, here's a small video, a very short, of the two kittens when they're playing together. Everybody who's watching another streamer who I'm following already has seen it, but you can always enjoy it anyways. It is surprisingly the most watched video I have made so far. I think the counter doesn't even the counter of everything else I did, all my playthroughs in the past year and a bit, don't match the counter of that 28-second kitten pet fighting video. So they brought me more fame as everything else I'd be doing. Anyway, let's focus on Aska now. So Aska is a game set in the Viking era, and this is actually not the main character. This is one of the main characters. The main character after which the game is also named is female, and for a change I am going to play that female. This guy is Ragnar. Ragnar is shown as the bear. So, as it says, a former thrall who earned his freedom through hard work. And yeah, everybody knows that a thrall is actually a somewhat more polite name of slave, being very connected to a master or multiple masters, doing all kind of stuff, protection, etc. But he earned his freedom, so that's why. Great physical strength, together with an unbreakable will fueled by his faith in a primal bear god, made him an invaluable ally and friend of Aska. Where Aska leads through the sharpness of wit, Ragnar is here to break wood, stone, and foe with raw ferocity. Now, we see the stats, the vitality, stamina, hunger, etc. I will just go over things. Strength is most important, dex is somewhat less, intelligence is, yeah, so brawn over brains. Perception is what? Then we have Aska. I don't know if I can, yeah, I can turn her. So, daughter of the Raver and keeper of the Eye, is the brilliant leader of the exiled people of the North. She's a nimble, tireless, and resourceful hunter with an extraordinary sense of perception, matched only by the swiftness of her intellect. She alone holds the secret of the Eye of Odin and the hope of her people's future. So, when I compare that, vitality is less, but stamina, for instance, I would do a lot of stretching, is higher. Hunger is more or less lower. So food depletion, that means how hungry she will get is going slower. Thirst is less, cold resistant less. So yeah, in general it says she's a female. She is somewhat weaker in the, how to say it, not body strength, but the influence is on the body. And now I had sneezed. So the cold resistance is faster getting cold, less strength, but also higher dexterity, intelligence, and perception. Perception is useful. Ability to discover resources. The nice thing is that resources can be found using a hotkey, but I think that this means that the search area will be larger. So this is actually the main character of the game. Then there were always kind of people who don't like to play female characters, and that's probably why Ragnar is, or Ragnar is edit. I'm going to play as Aska today, and I've done a preset. I made a set before. This is the way she looks. Very well. I don't think scary is the right word, but intimidating to a certain point with the face, yes. So Aska is becoming our main. Then we're going to the next part. New game. I'm not going to play on normal. And the reason for that is I want to have things easy. The custom is unbalanced. I will do a map sheet I've done. Yeah, okay. Cheating. Cheating. I hear people yell cheating. Yes, I've played that map sheet before for about 50 days. That's it. Easier. Confirm. What I'm doing is world set the terrain aspect smooth. So it's still having normal height. So we still have hills and, well, not mountains, but we still have hills and deep spots. But the terrain itself is more smooth. So there's no risk that I am working somewhere and all of a sudden everything drops down. We will start in spring. That's the easiest starting section. The year length is extended and I'm doing that. Maybe maximum is even more fun. Maximum, because that may give me more time. So that's, I don't know how long that is, but we'll see. Precipitations, I hope I pronounce it well. If not, I'm certain somebody will mention that to me. I kept it to default, so I can actually choose to sunny, to soggy. So sunny is very beautiful weather, barely any rain, fog and things like that. But I fear that the downside of that is that something I need in this game is also not working or working well. So I'm not going to use that. Soggy, on the other hand, means, well, for those of you who played Volheim or have been watching Volheim streams, welcome to the swamp. Now, so default, which is more normal. Day length default, structure decay and clothing decay on low. The reason for that is the extended year length, but things will eventually decay, and I found that when I'm building up a village and having 4 builders, of which 3 builders are only running around to repair stuff, not fun. Same with clothing. The clothing has to be crafted somewhere, and if at some point the only thing he's doing is crafting new clothing, or he and his assistant craft new clothing, simply because every time a villager has to come over because something worn out and is gone, then the other crafting tasks are not being done. So low. Difficulty, monster density, medium and medium. And I have been thinking, oh, that's why I didn't get that event, I guess. But I'm going to drop this. No. Yep, I'm going to drop both to low. And the reason for that is that at some point I got an event on the same map with the same character on these settings, and I nearly lost my population. I think it was halfway. Bears, yeah, it says biomes, but I think monster biome, or is it a spawn point? If it's a spawn point, that one we'll see. So I keep the herbivores at medium, smokers and fen biome. I think those are spawn points. Smoker are a piece of pests, really annoying pests, but we'll see. Wolfar are basically wolves, which is nice. You don't want to run into them early game, but once I got my village going more or less going, that is, once I got my village more or less going, they're not that much of a threat anymore. And bears, I put them low because those buggers are nasty, very nasty. So let's start up, and if all is well, we do get the introduction video. We do.
In the days before, the gods gave us the spark of ambition, which lit the fires of creation. They gave us a world of our own, a home. They made us builders, warriors, legends. They gave us everything. But our hubris overcame us. We thought ourselves to be gods instead. We tore apart their memory, and so we were punished. Everyone, everything cast into the fire. Yet some of us were spared. To start again.
And there we are, on the island, stranded. Our fleet is destroyed, and we're basically the sole survivor. Now, we had the tutorial off actually, but we have some tasks to do. First of all, let's pick up this one, Jotun Blood. 3, 4, 5, and there's the big guy. Let's be friendly. Bye. So, there we are. We'll zoom in a bit. This is Aska. Like I said, she does have some intimidating look. Now, there is a small guidance in this game, and I can bring it up with G. We have a complete tutorial covering the base stuff. I won't even go through it, because if I do that, when I do that, it's 10 o'clock by the time we finished. But this is everything in the tutorial that's mentioned. The hotkeys, inventory, search, tab, fit, how to gather resources, how to establish a camp, which means making tools. That's basically how I'm going to do it, to get villagers here, but all of that will be explained. We have a journal, and I won't go over this because we have no entries. The items, the thing is, every time I start up, everything starts flashing in here again. And things are being shown which I don't even have yet. So we will get that over time. I mean, we have 50 cooking recipes, 50 materials, 64 different tools. Well, actually, not true because the tools are similar except different materials. We have add-ons to buildings, structures, some things are mentioned. Then we did that. The settlement, resources, everything we will have in the future. So from wood to food to liquids and everything in between. There is no, yeah, from armor and clothing to wood, from A to W. We don't have a Z yet. Ah, settlement info. This is going to be important because that one will tell me about problems sooner or later. Villages will show up when we have them. Structures is a list of everything I have constructed, being it housing, fires, crafting. Well, stations isn't the exact word, but workspaces is a better word, to defenses. Everything I have to build is going to be listed there, including the opportunity for me to pin recipes and to have them showing up. We will do that over time. And the log is currently empty, but that will tell everything that happens. Day one. This is the most important thing right now. We can pin the things. We have the different gods. Thor, Skadi, Odin, Brokkr and Eitri, Heimdallr, Gefjon and Mimir. Each a certain aspect of the Norse mythology. Mimir, for instance, is having knowledge quest. I have to harvest Jotun blood. I have to discover water in nature. I have to discover food in nature. At some point, I'm going to pin them, and if you see, they're going to show up over there, but we'll do that later. Fish cooking recipe. When all of these are unlocked, and only then the next row of discoveries will become available. When those are done, the third. So there is an order. Gefjon, food production, same things. Cook a dozen red meat steaks, do all the farming related activities, sizable amount of mushrooms, 50, fish steaks, berry bringer. This is actually quite easy. Then Heimdallr population. This is actually a fun one. Summon your third villager for your settlement. Assign to a workplace. Assign to a shelter. Fifth villager, and the first is simple. So 1, 3 and 5 are the simple one. Housing is simple one. Workplace is simple. So the whole first row is pretty easy. Brokkr, learning the ropes. So crafting, rope, and that's stone. Then we have the axe, the hoe, the stone breaker, the pickaxe, and the hammer. And yeah, stop hammer time. That's going to pop up. That comment is not going to pop up every time I start to build it, because it's getting very boring. Odin, pin a recipe. So anything I build, if I pin it, done. Build a shelter, build the eye, build an add-on. Add-ons are to crafting buildings. Upgrade a building, that's also crafting building, but there's something else. And workshop pit altar. After that we get 2 more with rewards. Skadi, that's the next one I'm going to. Nice catch. That might take some time, and I'm going to change some of my approach compared to previous game. I'm going to do something first before I let somebody else. That's a no-brainer. Well, actually, everything is no-brainer, but all of these 4 are done early. This is already done early game. That's why I'm going to pin it. And finally, Wisp Waste, that's night. Rolling can be done. Kill a white, that will be done. A Wolfar, done. Skeleton is done. And the Drogar is eventually also going to be done. There's no need for me to pin those recipes, because rolling is actually being done. And as you can see, Thor favors me because I did the rolling. Now, there's also highlight Z. There we go. New deed completed. Press G. There, it turns green. What I did compared to the base game is changing the color of the items. Let's get some food. And we have the forage request done. But I changed the color of that exploration. And the reason for that is that in the base game it's actually yellow, and some things are very hard to see. I had it set to a color blue, which more or less turned out to be purple. And that was awful too. So I hope this light one actually works. So far it does. So what the bloody heck is that? Oh wait. Whisper. Oh, that's the tutorial, which is apparently being set on. I don't need it. So I'm going to collect stones and mussels. And the mussels are there to make sure that the other mussels are actually being kept alive. I got a lot of messages. I'm happy. At least some sportive success for the Dutch today. Verstappen won the Grand Prix of Italy. Norris is second. Good. And a while ago, Andrew said at least to start off, you have some resources from your wrecked ship. No. No. It's a wrecked ship and there's nothing other than the Jotun blood. So what do we have here? I am collecting the stones because I need those. I'm not going to collect greens because I don't need those yet. Let's see what's in the bird nest. 1 eggy. And feathers, but I don't need those feathers yet. It's a shame. Eventually everything will decay anyway. I do need sticks. And I think I forgot to mention something. We'll do that in a bit. I will turn the tutorial off. Berries. So each food aspect, I don't need the seeds yet. This is my inventory. I completely ignored this for a bit because there are three things to look at. First of all, that's my in-game name, everything. First of all, we have this. This is the complete character with what we can wear over time. And it will actually cover up what she's wearing right now. Main hand, off hand, we have arrow or seeds. So the nice part is if I'm going farming and I just drop the berry seeds. Hey, it's not supposed to drop in. Okay, I said some other things too. But they are equipped here when I want to plant something. And bait. No, that's arrows. And that's bait seeds. Then we have the inventory itself split in three parts. Small items, which are the stones, the pine cone. Pine cone can be planted for trees. So Jotunblad, stones, food, seeds, everything related to that. Some drops from animals are all in there. Oh, you mean that, Andrew? That was, well, actually it was five, but that's the Jotunblad, and I will need those, as it says, to summon villagers at the Eye of Odin. That's the only thing you get. The other way to get it is by mining the big or smaller pieces you see scattered all over the land. But I think the intention of the developers is that people use this build an Eye of Odin as fast as they can, summon the next villager, and then start doing something else. So it's not that much of a resource, but it's important, and inventory, just like you see happening at Volheim, is actually getting full pretty fast, even though we have 24 small slots. The medium items are sticks, everything related to trees, but also my weapons. And large item is only one, so I can carry one large item. Over time, we will see. I am going to do one thing, settings. Um, Gameplay, keybinds, camera mini. No, that can stay on. Hide tutorials on. Hide tutorial NPC on. Intro video, keep it on because it's always fun. No bothering villages off. This will be at some point really, really, really annoying. But still, I keep it off. So, searching. We have sticks. I need more sticks. And the nice part is it will also help me getting skills, and with the skills I'm able to get better results. Now I'm looking for two things. One is water, and the other one is, there it is, behind that stone. Hello, flags. 5 flags. So this color is actually not working that well. I can't use. That's a fan over there. Where is my dot? There's my dot. You see it moving behind the trees. Over time, I may hunt it. For now, I'm going to leave it alone. No. Good. Crafting screen, because we used this one. Now, this is actually the wrong guy. There are some things we can do. Craft. 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 Starting with those two. Let's go to the crafting. We got a special crafting screen brought up in one go. No need to equip a hammer or anything. No, we simply have everything. Not everything is unlocked yet, but we can craft materials. 2 ropes, and it shows up as a journal entry. We also got that one done, and stone blade. And we completed that one. I don't know if this gives me some sort of experience though. So then we're going to craft some tools. That's the fun. Like I said, some things are being very easy. Pickaxe. This comes in 3. I have auto equip on in 4. We can craft a hammer. That also means that at this point I can go to bushcraft, get myself a water pouch if I want to, but I don't have bark, or craft a simple fire. That's a task I'm not going to do yet. Instead, I'm going back to the beach. And I had done that one, yep. I only need the hoe. Back, combat, that one. Which one I can do as well. Yeah, I can keep that one open. This is also going to, oh, wrong button, give me some favor with the gods. I think the end goal in this game, but I never managed to get Mimir. Blood of my enemy done. That was the one I was looking for. But I think the end goal is to get everything done. You can summon bosses. We will certainly go on exploration at some point and face bosses, actually even fight them. not with starting gear. The first enemies we will encounter are quite hard already, even at this point of the game. So, but we got 2 more Jotun blood, and that's why I did this. I need at least 10, at least. 15 would be better, but that won't fit in the inventory. That's a big one, that's a small one. That's not. There's a small one. So, do I have a plan? Yes, I have a plan. Andrew, you don't believe this. That comment you just posted is that the 2 words you used about bending was actually blocking it from posting because of sexual content. Ultimate. Well, it's over. But the whole context that you placed, that you meant, is ruined by the automat. It is. Uh, I wish we had that on Tuesday, Thursday, or Saturday happening. I really would like to know the reaction when that happened. But I don't know what her automat is blocking. We should try out at some point. No, it was bending over. Oh man. Nowadays, I'm too old for this. But anyway, completely lost track of what I'm doing now. Let's put those back. We don't need seeds yet. Over time we will get enough seeds. And even the seeds will eventually decay when I drop them on the floor. So nothing wrong with that too. I need more blades. Let's craft 5 in a row. I think overzealous is actually the understatement of the day today. But yeah, you're right, or about that, or it can be somewhat overzealous, especially this case, because it's filtering a message on 2 words, which is absolutely, I don't know. And the comment is, if you, I haven't even read it, but the comment itself, man, you're going to strain your lower back pretty bad if you bend over forwards while smacking up a rock like that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with what you said. We'll see. Hopefully it won't block this on the. It's not a Twitch automat, by the way. It's Streamlabs automat, so probably won't do anything on Twitch. Let's go back. I need, because that means that this word should also be causing problems. I mean, it's called a wooden hoe, but what would happen? I'm not going to give it a try if we type it. But you see where we're going to. That may also happen. We've got the hoe, but the hoe needs to go in another. Now we go in another hotkey slot, which the whole subject currently reminds me of something that happened some point when I was playing Sacred and somebody made a terrible typo and actually used a U instead of an O when mentioning a slot. So that was about a weapon. So yeah, so far the fun parts. I need sticks. This color actually shows up. Oh, we got berries. Better at night as it does at daytime. I also need to get water. Still. I'm going to fill the rest of the inventory with sticks. 3. We currently have 6. So we can add 9 more, which means and now we've got more than enough. Actually, too many berries already. The auto equipping is something I need to turn off as well. We ate some berries. Don't ask me what's going to happen the next day, because if somebody ate that many berries as fast, then it will probably also have some effect on your intestines. But things will go smooth. Garlic is needed. I'm moving away from the coast and I don't want to do that. All the animals we hear in the background won't be seen. I think we do see birds. I'm not even certain about that. I still need to find a water source. We see some over there. We may. No, we may not. This is the last, yep, the last spruce. And we survived the first day. Good. That makes it easier to see the Jotun blood shards. But it probably also makes it a little bit harder to spot monsters. So the thatch, the reeds, I can pick it up, but like I said, I don't need it yet. There we have a monster, that nice red thingy. Hi guy. I need you and 2 of your brothers to show what it's like to die with honor. Or in your case, dishonor, because wisps aren't actually Good things. There we have a shard. Anything unwelcome here? No. Time to bend over and bang on the rocks again. I think that's going to become a running gag, Andrew. We'll see. She's going to use another tool for that later, so don't worry. Also, at some point, she's the only one doing this. And all the other stone harvesting is done by a dedicated stone cutter. Or two. Or maybe even more if I need more than more stone as I can currently produce with two. So that problem will be solved at some point. The other thing is she will also doing some wood cutting at some point, so I really hope that that won't stress your back. This is amazing. I've been running this part of the map several times. There it is. Natural water collector. I can drink from this, and this thing, yeah, quenched. This thing is, so we have two left now. Respawning. The stone itself, the shape will be there, but over time it will refill again. Of course, I also could drink water from my pouch, but I prefer to keep that one for emergencies. Now it's just common flowers. That isn't. So what's next? Where are all the monsters? Oh, of course I made it a little bit harder by setting things, there's one, setting things to easier. Hi Wisp, bye Wisp. There's more than one. These guys are a nice source of fibers. I got nice shards, okay, very nice. I still need a whole lot of stones, small ones. And yes, the way she is picking things up isn't healthy either. You're not supposed to bend your back like that. With this, I can understand. I can actually make it less worse, I think. Because you're using a single-handed, short-hafted tool to do it. But for picking things up, bending over like that, certainly is unhealthy. The problem with that maximum zoom is that you can't see things. Also, when I was doing the character creation, and I said it before that I was doing the same character, but when I was doing the character creation, I was actually hoping to get dark hair, but there were only variations of blonde. So for me, that's why the red hat is the one I eventually choose, because red haired girls, green eyes have something attractive for me. So that's why. That's all I'm going to say about that. Is that? I hope it isn't. Well, no, it isn't. It isn't what I hoped it would be, or what I feared it would be, but it is very useful. This, the unexplored cave we currently see here showing up. I don't need a waypoint. That's an area I will need to get iron from at some point. And with that I will have to build a special entrance, which we will unlock over time, like everything else in these type of games. I am going to change the color of settings. There's two things I'm going to change. Gameplay. Auto equip off. I think that's back to default. The problem with the blue is that it was the same color as the Jotun blood, so I wasn't able to spot the shards if I was looking for it. And we have actually a new chatter. Welcome back, Raven. I am actually not at my location yet. There is a location on this map where the mine is quite close to a lake. So I'm heading to that. I've been playing this map a little bit with other characters, so I know where to find it. So yeah, that's what I have in mind. And I've been reading enough on Steam forum about the best locations, and yeah, so what I know is what I know from the game and what I read is being close to a mine and a lake is actually easy. And yes, I play on a seat. I no, well, not no, partially no. I have in general been. Let's see, where's my ship? I think somewhere over here, and part of the coast where I'm currently at, and that's it. So there's still lots to discover. I actually never made it far past the first winter, even on this map. So I did adjust a few settings, monster settings are dropped a bit less. I kept the wildlife the same, but what I experienced in my first game with all the terraforming and etc., it was so distracting from building up the village itself and the fire, the other things, the exploring, the discovering of recipes, that it kind of took the joy away from me. I did manage to survive that first winter, but I also lost 6 of the 17 people in my village, and that was something I'm not really happy about. So I just hope that by easing up things a little bit, it will be more enjoyable for me and for the viewers. Drogar field, yeah, but I'm not going to walk into that. Ha! He says while he nearly walks into it. Oops. um, yep, Drogar field, aka stone monster guys, which hit terribly hard. So I'm not going to deal with that. I will have to deal with them anyway. Now, that was something I didn't want to encounter, at least not to, because I don't have the right weapon for it yet. And I certainly don't have a shield. But those are Wolfgar. And McRaven said, same on my second game. I've put the day's time at the longest and longer year, so now I'm on day 37. It's still fall and I'm almost have a fully working fortress before the first winter. But yeah, or the scanning with Z, the red color is pretty great. Well, the problem with yellow is, the problem with red is that monsters are also shown in red. So you want to fight? Okay. I'm bleeding. Yeah, I know. Ooh, I was using the wrong weapon. Well, that explains. Hey, stop biting me. I'm not going to die. Come on, get away from me. Wait, I got garlic. I can deal with one, but without shield, two is a bit tricky. And this game, dodge rolling is done by shift instead of control, so I have to use another key again. Okay, how many? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. No, X. Um, so I stick to 12. I need a lot of rocks and I need a new pickaxe. Let's see, pickaxe. Pickaxe. If you walk around him, yeah, I'm still getting used to control. I just played Dawn of Defiance about an hour ago, and in that game, I don't know, my other viewer may actually give a better opinion about that, but in that game I was doing quite well with dodging, I think. So that went pretty well. In this game, it's a little bit different because you use shift for both sprint, and but you need to tap it for rolling. So it's a little bit, yeah, like I said, getting adjusted to what you're currently doing. At some point I manage. I have been able to deal with things. There's another one that then is probably over. Yeah, that explains. I ran straight into them. Well, son of a... I knew it. You know what, doggies? I'll be back with better equipment and I'm going to kill you and steal your puppies. Then we'll see. At least those guys are easier. One more. I still need rocks. I also need to do this. And here's another one. Flags don't need to go too far from the coast because most small stones are found in coastal areas. Problem, most flax is found in that, as well as food items. Another problem, I'm usually at my spot at day 2 and have my campfire built by then. Oh well. The worst I have to deal with at that spot is smoker anyway. Going down again and I shouldn't do that. You have to do go west. No seeds needed. navigating with the search mode. It's mushrooms pop up when it has been raining or still is raining a bit. Is that it? Am I heading? No, this is absolutely not healthy. No, 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 no. Those things are hitting so hard. I'm way off course. I was saying about mushrooms show up when it's raining or has been raining. If you eat them raw, you'll get some weird effects. If you cook them, they're considered delicious. Speaking of delicious, let's eat some mussels. I'm not sure if I would eat raw mussels in real life myself. I mean, I don't even eat oysters raw. Well, actually, I never had oysters anyway. The idea of eating raw mussels, no. So I think we don't need those on the map. I only need them on my map and my compass the moment I'm going to explore and look for them. But I think I actually dodged something by moving this way. Well, we will encounter those monsters over time. At least we've seen the doggos, the wisp, and the other ones will pop up sooner or later anyway. I'm not there yet. 7. Forward. I should bring up something on my Steam community page of this game. So once again, here's a Wolfar den, except this one is grey, which means it's inactive. It will become active over time. They all have a timer. So the ones which are currently inactive will at some point become active. And if I, for whatever reason, manage to kill all the Wolfar, it will become inactive, and then a year later it will respawn again. think that's the big spot I'm looking for, which means I'm almost at my location. On the other hand, inventory full. Really? Yeah. We've got 3. You have to switch a moment. 8. I can do 2 more. 1, 2. Inventory. 14 flags. That's what I was looking for. A lake. Large lake. This one will be one part of my food production. Because it's possible to put a fishing station here. And that will give me a nice supply of fish, which will be chopped up. And once it's chopped up, become something I can eat raw or cooked. And that big hump over there is the other thing I'm looking for. The only thing I'm going to change compared to my private game. Let's discover this pot first. Unexplored cave. The only thing I'm going to do, I'm going to change compared to my private game. My private game, I set my housing up here on the hill. We don't see the height on the map. I had my farm over here, my fishing over here, a warehouse, food gatherer here, but I set up my industries in this area. I think that I may change that this time. The problem I have to face is that I can't put it at the same side. I don't want to put my industries here because I want to keep that eventually the iron production. The distance between the gathering of the iron and the stones and the processing and storing as close as possible. So I have to think about that. Let me see. Fishing, gatherer, farm, cooking. If I put the Eye of Odin here, then my campfire, and here we go again. The thing is, I better do this first. That very big stone we saw over there, or better said, those very big stones we saw over there, is the boss arena. One of the bosses. Maybe even the biggest boss, and that means the stone Jotun is the bugger we saw and we waved goodbye to. I'm not certain if I want my village to have that close to it because I have no idea what will happen in the fight. Knowing me, And Ozhug knows that as well because he has seen me in various fights. I'm the kind of person who runs away and try to hit people when I can. And I still believe in the major rule of fighting that to do a good fight and survive a good fight, you have to hit the other person more as you're being hit yourself. So in lots of my games, the intention is not to get hit. Well, in Aska that didn't actually, in Dawn of Defiance that didn't work well. Simple fire. I've got a well over there, so I can leave that. Wasn't there an arrow? Yes, there is. Um, Facing south. Where's the arrow? Arrow facing south. Arrow facing north. Fire. Supply. Yeah, task completed. What supply? Shelter. Back. Now what I'm going to do, simple fire, upgrade. Move over the yellow, supply, and done. I'm going to do a lot of stuff right now. Shelter. Bummer. Facing south. Somewhat more to the center. There. And now the easy trick some people don't know, which actually surprising me. But if I put up the L from Leo, I'm able to select the same thing multiple times. There. Now we had another quest, which I might as well do right now. Pin the buildings for, and I need to figure out what do I need for the eye. I need to build shelter. Okay. It's time to do some serious chopping up. Hey. That again. Finally, some serious work. Still, okay, you win. One of the good things, I don't have to switch tools. Game simply does it for me. So instead of that, I simply select what I want to do. If I want to build, I simply select, hold the E key. That also sounds a bit weird, but hold the E key, still full inventory. And I'm able to build. If I want to mine while I still have the hammer in my hand, not a problem. If I want to cut wood, if I hold the hammer in my hand, not a problem. I simply hold R and we auto select the X. And then why do I keep it in my hotkey slots? Well, because it makes things easier. Over time, I could actually keep less tools or weapons in that hotkey slot. And like at some point, I'm able to get a bow, and I'm intending to use that a lot on this character. But I'm able to get a bow, and I can actually keep the bow in one, and the melee weapons, which will be a club first and a shield in 2 and 3, and later anything else from 4 on, food and things like that. There's the other bug. Ah! Shoot! Ow! I just hit my foot with a bullet. Unless I'm lucky. I think I've been lucky. We have more slots. Okay. Home is done. Now, deed completed. These are everything on the logs in day 3, day 2, and day 1. So I can actually keep things going. It also tells me that we unlocked a new blueprint. General, no water supply, no food production, no immigration, all that. That's going to be a very long list every once in a while, but that long list is also getting shorter. We have construction sites, 1 housing, a shelter giving 20 comfort, and because of the campfire, 7 area desirability. Area desirability is something important. I'm not going to build the Eye of Odin. I am going to do this and that. I think I know why it won't go away. It keeps showing up because I can't harvest some of the items. So barbecue is my second food. I can't cook anything yet, but this is my first cooked food production part. Aha! Wrong button. X. Onion. And if I keep the food on the fire, we get charcoal. Sounds familiar. And we've got one cooked onion. There's no need to eat it yet. So in general we have, didn't it show up? Yeah, it does. We have several tiers of items and food. The cooked and the uncooked is both tier 1, although personally I think uncooked should count as tier 0. Or if that's tier 1, then the cooked food, same thing, should be tier 2. Anything processed further along the road will be 3, then up. But that's me. I do need water. I also need a water collector. Face south. There. So early game, I'm going to do a lot of stuff myself. At least until I've built the Eye of Odin. At that point I can slowly start with getting what's his name? I'm more going to the planning part of things, while the villagers slowly but surely start doing the other stuff. So I will do first steps. I unlock a farm, I will do 3 tiles of farming after that, I will assign a dedicated farmer, give the rake to that farmer, and everything is done. That's how I'm planning to work. I don't know if it works, but it's a way to do things. I don't know if there's a meta in this game, and in all fairness, I don't want to find out. Yeah, there is a meta in this game, and that meta is dig a trench around your base at the low spots, lower the land in front of that. At the higher areas, you build yourself. At the lower areas, you build yourself. What's his name? Dirt walls. And if you make it high enough, you can jump over. Nothing can get in. Drop hedge walls on top of the dirt walls. Problem solved. No monster can enter your base. Your villagers can miraculously teleport through the dirt walls into your base. Of course, they always seem to teleport, at least what I found out during my winter invasion, that they all teleported at the spot where the monsters were gathering. Most likely one of the reasons why I lost 6. I was lucky. I was so lucky by the looks of things. So that's something I need to work with. But all in all, the thing with the whole dirt wall with hedge wall on top of it and a trench, yeah, it's making a base impenetrable. Of course, don't get me wrong, that's how it was done in that time as well. North. So in a way the meta is actually realistic, but it also destroyed lots and lots of the gameplay, which is a bit of a shame. And that's why I needed those small sticks, small stones. I need to keep him, I need to keep him. We need sticks. I think things are bugging out a little bit. I'm not going to be that worried about it because eventually everything will turn out fine anyway. I'm also hoping that I'm able to do a running contest soon. I need to go a little bit more to the north for that, because it certainly will help me crafting a weapon. with the weapon, I'm able to do more damage. Although at the same time, the axe is a perfect weapon too. So, I built partially. Now we need stone, big ones. Oh, yeah. This is also something that happens a lot. Aska and Ragnar are the most clumsy Vikings I've ever seen. Doesn't matter what they're doing, they get in. Well, okay, the sprain, if it was a sprain that we had, sort of makes sense, considering the way she is standing and mining the rocks. Activate. And now it comes to what do I want? We have 5 perks on people. 5. And out of those 5, I only know 2. There's no way to figure out the other 3 until the village is here. If I don't like what they have, I can't renew my options. This is what I have. Those 2 are the ones I chose. I can leave the Eye of Odin. Won't happen. That means I have to leave the game and reload, but I think even then it won't change. So, what do we have here? One lady with a bad haircut and one guy. She's having iron lungs, longer running, more often sleeping. So that means that I should give her the opportunity to sleep longer. Resilient surge. So find inner strength when my health is at its lowest. Burst of stamina to continue fighting or completing essential tasks. So she makes up a little bit to be a good warrior, but I can't guarantee. What I need right now is a builder. So if she's able to run longer, she may be able to become a good builder because she's able to run back and forth. Then we have Jensen, Harvest Blessing. Excel in harvesting crops and gathering resources during the fall, so in one of the 4 seasons, which make him a very good gatherer or a farmer. He's also a rain dancer, so with bad weather he's actually happy. And I need a gatherer, I need a farmer. So out of those two, he is currently the one I opt for. Because he can start out as a builder, and later I can move him to the gatherer's hut, and after that the gatherer's pit, and after that I can actually, let's see, facing east. My muscles sport. Well, too bad. Yeah, fool. I want to turn craft a path here at some point. So if I align things now, then it'll be easier in the future. There. Now go back, close to the water. There, done. And this is going to be important. Even before the builder, this building is more important. I can do the building myself. It's not what is required, but I can do it myself. What is required is that I'm getting my food production up and running ASAP. So what I can do is use the lady as a builder for a moment, assign it to the gatherer's hut, well, a pit for now. The moment it's actually activated, so my food production will be starting up. After that, I can bring in another villager who is becoming my dedicated builder for the time being. So I'm going to swap professions, all my villagers, for quite some time. Where are... You don't get any further, can't you? I think this guy wasn't that bad at all. We will have a look at him in a bit, because I need to see his other perks as well. But I want to make sure that these long sticks are actually gone. Where is he? I don't hear him. Ah, there he is. He's coming in with the last one. I can turn all fibers into rope right now. All but one. So, this guy, he is good in harvesting during fall. He's having a good time during when it rains. He is resilient, which is also good, and he has green thumb. This guy is actually a springtime vitality. This guy is actually actually good farmer. I only don't have a farmer yet. So he's currently in spring, which means he is a daytime guy. He's going to sleep from midnight until 5, then having 6 and 7 leisure, work from 8 to 4, having 3 hours of free time, work for 2 hours, an hour free time, and sleep. Going to call this spring day safe. Lie down. Now, manage workers, 6 point in agricultural, nothing in gathering. But that's not that much of a problem. What is a problem is that he's homeless. Stonecutter, winter resilience, wind rider, winter resilience. But I want a builder, so let's go for her. She can deal with a storm and she is able to run around cold times. And what we have now are the pests. And at a very inconvenient time, because I was just about to have a small break. I do hear the buggers, but I don't see them. So I will pause the game and have a small bathroom break, and I'll be back in a bit. Thanks for waiting. Let's go on and past. Because I hear them. There they are. These creatures are the most terrible you can have. They hop into your village, steal stuff, and get back. And I've had situations with them that I was preparing anything. I had dropped everything in a crafting station and I had to pick up one more thing. I came back, there were some smokers, and I lost half of what I needed. So I really hope I'm able to capture one, but apparently not yet. So let's instead cut some wood and build 2 shelters, or 3 shelters actually, because I will need those very soon. Because I doubt I'll be able to capture this. Oh, they're already leaving. Good. Not now. What I need first is put my worker on the shelter. I can assign one to myself later. Big tree. Ah, you got to be... Ooh, lady, why do you have to be that good? A fisher, a craftsman, and night shadow. So I can give her a night that's coming in from this side. And I'm already wounded. If it's too wide, I can live with it. Well, that's luck. Because I still need this means let's do this first. This also means that if I harvest those guys, I can craft myself better weapons. Oh, my health is going down instead of up. So we're going to hear the heartbeat. Well, the good news is as soon as the next shelter is done, I can actually sleep and get more healthy. Or not. I need one more shelter. Okay. I let her build. I give her a nighttime schedule, so she's going to work from midnight to 5 or 6, up to 5, then 2 hours of leisure, then sleep from 8 to 14, then 2 hours of leisure, then work from 5 to 21, then 2 hours of leisure. Apply, create, spring, night, save. Why the heck is he building? You silly goat. Why are you building stuff that you don't have to build yet? Because there was plenty of bark around. I don't have sticks, but I do have okay, she got a shelter. Singer. Assign. Done. Next, long stick. I'm heading in the wrong direction. No, I need to go south. I need to go in the direction of that willow. Just bear with me for a very short while, X. I know you're almost broken, but I need your help. Only to get me a few sticks. Shoot. Lady, you have an axe you don't use. And a pickaxe you don't use. Don't you love darkness? Where is the tree I was cutting down? Never mind. The advantage when you have people arriving with tools is that you can easily rob those tools from them. I mean, they don't need it after all, and it makes up for a very easy way to get things done. Where are my one garlic sticks, more sticks? So we see currently that clock symbol in purple. That means they're on leisure time. Now, last one. What I'm going to do, no, I'm going to cut down some more trees. Ah, there was the one we were looking for. This character seriously needs to go to sleep. Because that would heal her. I also need to find myself what's his name again? Jotun blood shards. Good thing about the foraging gathering I'm doing now is that everything I pick up when it comes to seeds can actually be dropped at the gathering pit. Why run far if you got it nearby? Trees won't regrow in this game, so at some point I will need somebody who is able to plant them. The stones, the big ones, won't respawn. The Jotun bloods in this game also won't respawn. The only things that respawn are the wolf spruce bushes, the flax, all the vegetables, the berries we found on the ground, and the water in the well. Speaking of which, I need to create a well. And I better do that first. That's one thing, I can pin it. Another thing I need to create is related to this. I need a different location for that. Last time I had problems with this spot. This time I'm going to make sure it works the way I want it. Where's my arrow? There. Facing north. That's the woodcutter. That's the stonecutter. Lots of terraforming. I'm just going to cut down lots of trees over here, because I will need this space later. Plus, it also makes up for resources needed by building. That's a very big tree. I can't use it. Crap! That's not going as planned. Because that means that what I have in mind may not work. I build it. Well, maybe it does, but it will become a very tight fit. Let's see. Inventory is a big mess. cut down. It's weird that in this area everything renders right away. So it's likely, not sure, but it's likely that things didn't work out at first. Because I was doing too much over there. Nightfall, we had a fire with everything. Probably going better now. Another thing I was planning to do was that. What about him? I need sticks and bark. 3 sticks and 3 bark. That one. And now she's at least a little bit more dangerous. That's where the mine is. I have 2 left. Don't eat the pests, so they don't spawn over here. We okay. Well, one well is done. Very nice. Don't need to pick up the... How many do I have now? 4. Small shards for the time being. Oh, that's funny. So in my private game with somewhat different settings, I was actually having smokers here. Currently, nothing is spawning. What's the red thing on the map? Oh, that one. Let's just wait for her. She's building. No, lady. Your turn. There's plenty of wood nearby, so... onions. That's it. That's the wrong one. Done. Finally. So we're going to need 3 persons or 2. First of all, I need a woodcutter. Tireless vitality, daylight devotion, and wind rider and stout constitution. Okay. That makes it. There. Yeah, that's reminding me why I never liked moving zoomed out. And the last shelter, because if everything goes the way I plan it, 1 and 2 are given 3. If everything goes the way I'm planning it, then by the time my last shelter starts filling up, I have my 7th person, I should be able to build cottages. With those, I'm able to house more people, starting with 2 up to 6. So I can build a cottage, move most of my people in it, have another one, a special one for myself, then build another cottage for more people and only use the shelters for temporary when I don't have space available. Eventually, I hope that over time I even don't need the shelters, but that I can simply keep room available in the cottages and over time even upgrade those to much better housing. That's my plan. It worked in my single player game, so with that in mind I don't have to worry. Just hope it also works in this game. What did we have in the journal? So we unlocked lots and lots of blueprints. Tier 1 watchtower, vent gate, lookout tower. This is only mine actually. Not sure if I'm going to build a flimsy gate, short fence, long fence, temple of Fenrir. This is going to take a lot of resource. Temple of Soul, probably not even in game yet. Workshop pit, that's one of the things I want to build as soon as everything's done with the stone cutter and the wood cutter. And the shelters, because I will need that for better tools. And with the better tools I'm actually able to craft trees, bigger rocks, build a useful tool for me. Warehouse, wood, stone, building resource and food foraging markers. For campfire and simple fire, everything else was already seen. Tools, road maker. Arrows. But that's tier 4, so I don't know why it shows up yet, because I can't make it anyway. Wood arrow, bone tip arrows, very useful. In that winter invasion in my private game I used about 100 of both to get everything down. All the materials including dice, so there's actually spoilers in here, because long plank and wood beam can't be made yet, nor the other ones. King, same thing, there's spoilers in here. We got the cooked stuff, but there's already food, tier 4, 3 and 4 food in it. That's tier 1, tier 1, I mean tier 4 food, tier 4, tier 3. Really a shame. Stick, resin, long stick, firewood, bark, fibers. All the food is in here. It's actually a shame. So we will be having more stone because it's 2 of 7. Seeds, same thing. Creatures, white. And the wisp. This is actually, like I said, going to be important. 100% not enclosed in walls, 70 defenseless, 78%. So I got a stone cutter too. are still available. Yeah, but I'm using one. And as you can see, the stone cutter and the wood cutter bit have a negative influence on the desirability. So having houses close by is not a good idea. That's basically what it says. This is having a positive influence. Let's get through the night and wait for my villager to arrive, which is a bit. And she's a terrible woodcutter. I was so afraid of this. Now how to deal with this? Because I need a woodcutter. Oh, I have an idea. Give her shelter. See? Because everything else is fine. And going to these workers. Problem solved. She's making herself useful in a way, not the way I hoped for, but having the unhappiness all the time is not what I like. Let me see. That one needs that. And seeing the time, there's one more thing, but yeah, she has the day shift. Think about what's the best thing to do right now. Because I need 5 O2 shards again. And I'm lacking the tools for a big one. Am I? No, of course I'm not, because I need something else for that. I also need to set up food markers, which means I need sticks. Two for the price of one. Now that's nice. Do I have sticks? I don't. I do have rope. Sticks. There's plenty of sticks in this forest. You know where to look for. And I have no idea why she did that, because it's heavy attack, unless I accidentally hit my mouse, but the range is there. So 5 Jotun shards, which I can harvest while I'm heading off to my marker. Considering I started with 2, I had a nice start. Three. That should be enough. Let's pick up some berries on the road. Where's the marker? Here. Not the best spot, but never mind. That's north, built. Food foraging, built. Done. Ranges. Perfect. So this should give enough area to cover. He's already moving in. If you look at the mini map on top, you already see that he's moving into my direction right now. So my gatherer, forage gatherer is already picking up the food. We have 4 and there's number 5. I'm able to get more shards while I'm setting up all those markers. Then I'm going to do that. is another den here, which may cause a problem over time. But right now it's inactive, so I'll I can always remove that marker if things get a little bit too dangerous. I can also, at some point, simply equip my crew with better weapons, better armor, so they can actually deal with those pulfar. 7. Okay. I may indeed end up with 10. Nice. I won't be able to summon both of them. I may not even be able to summon one of them. Or better said, I may be able to summon one of them, but we won't be seeing the arrival. Okay, we got a nice overlap here, so I can keep this the way it is. That would place it very close to where I don't want it. Yeah. How much do I have left? Plenty. Sticks. Ah! Well, I knew that would happen. So I got myself a spare. One more. I really should give her some time to heal. Timing to heal means she has to sleep or eat anything related to onions and garlic. And right now, there's too much to do for sleeping. Another disadvantage, time doesn't progress faster when she's sleeping. So I can let her sleep, but it won't, well, crap, I'm off. It won't solve things. That should be the last one. Can't resist. Eventually, the stone left will be picked up by my stone cutter. So that's good news. And last one. There's also a wisp over there. So let's give our new toy a try. Works a lot better than an axe. And my wood cutter also needs 2 markers. I'll put one over here. No, I'm going to put, because there are the better trees over there. One over here. That way I'm able to harvest several required resources. This is typical AI. I need 5 sticks for a shack, so you're going to drop 3 sticks in each and every shack under construction. We have 12 sticks. We needed 24 and 16 on... Oh no, wait. Yeah. Or do I have... No, I don't have 3 in stock. So the AI is dropping sticks in different buildings, which is actually limiting the construction instead of increasing it. Like I said, that's typical AI. Now what I need is off to the lake. We're getting close to where the village is, and the things I harvest are actually back to remaining here again. Stone cutter, bear power, but that means eating more. This is nice, but actually I don't need a rocker. Night shadow though is also nice. Um, reason I need to put a woodcutter's marker here. 5 minutes. The reason I want to do that, oh that doesn't work now, is we've got reeds along the lake. Reeds is thatch, and as I said before, thatch is needed for production. Eventually, I will need thatch facing south, turning around for bedding first, and I think for housing later. So if I start showing ranges, my map is like this. But this wood harvest is barely useful, but those two are. So that's done. Let's move to the blue beam. Get some sleep on the character. Map. Don't need that anymore. It's a mess in my inventory, but never mind. Let's see, we have finally time to heal up for the next 1 minute and 48 seconds. Feeling energized. Yep. I can bring up the inventory to show what it does. Campfire. That's comfort. Sheltered is a positive. Resting is a positive. Energized is getting more stamina. Also healing up. And things are actually going better because she finally finished. Yeah, she's having problems now, I know. One shelter. Good. Hopefully I can use the new villager as a woodcutter for a little bit. If I can, and the next one I'm able to summon is also woodcutter, I will move the current summoned one to stone cutting. Okay, she can't. She can work in the night. She's also a hunter. The fourth spring night. So she is stout constitution, woodcutter, night shadow, which is working at night, which is quite nice. Retired bowman. So that's also useful. And eventually thirsty much faster. Well, now I need to get out of the shelter for the moment. Structures. Workstation. So I put her in. I'm not putting her anywhere. Because our next is a woodcutter. Which means that our new lady is going to the stonecutter. And I will later put her in with something with ranged. So that could be a hunter, but I could also put her on a guard tower and shooting everything hostile that's approaching us. Workstations, don't cut the bit. Task, small stone, 100. Yeah, safe. 5 minutes. She's not completely healed up, but I need another shelter. In the end, you have to do everything yourself. because the AI is so stupid and still drops things in the wrong building. See, is it that hard? Fuck. Yeah, it's simply a small graphic glitch. Nothing serious. Because the moment I cut down the trunk, problem is solved anyway. Good. Next phase of planning, because I want to go on. We have this part done. The builder's hut market will come later. For builder's hut, I need a workshop hut. For the workshop hut, I need a workshop pit. So let's build that. And this one is a very big building. Which I hope can make it fit in here. I can't. I'm not happy. Because that means I have to put it up here. I also want to have a path. So let's start by facing north. Hedwig, you're going to work at the woodcutter's pit because you're very good in that. You're also good in skinning, but I'm very happy you're around. And you even get a full shelter. A whole shelter for yourself. Now, where is... There she is. So she eats more. Well, let's go to the first part. It's daytime, spring. She eats more because of her woodsman craft, but she's strong. She's a hunter with a healthy appetite, so that also means she is eating more. She is good in harvesting and she has bear power. So in general, she has 3 skills that's actually making her eat a lot. But overall, as a woodcutter, she would do very well. Now, there's more here. The health, the food, the water, her rest, the warmth. So that's all coming. Then hydrated. She's working. She's optimistic. So currently everything is fine. Also because of that. And she's well fed. Those are the base stats, which will increase depending at proficiencies, for instance. The morale is important. Work hours are always a negative. No matter how long you let them work, even for 1 hour, it's always a negative. What's most important are housing points and area desirability related to that. And the leisure, sleeping. So the more time off they have, and the housing points are important for that. So the cottage is doing better than the shelter, and the sleep hours are also cottage better than shelter. So all of that is making sure that the morale is increasing. And that is the same thing with the other ones. Grow just entered, she's already back at 54. Eudis is it, is already at 71. Zigny is at 75, but she does have sleep anxiety, and that's because what we see here in general. The fact that my structures are defenses and I don't have a wall yet. And the workshop pit is also the reason. And the same thing with him. So those are the management things I have to keep an eye on. Now, the nice part of everything I did, I don't need. Oh, wait, I was wrong. The nice part of everything I did is the woodcutter is able to get the wood now. So the shelters are being built at night. The workshop pit is being built at night. And I'm going to add something else. The question is, can't do that. I need gatherer's hut for that. For the gatherer's hut, I will need a workshop pit. So that's being done. I need logs and the workshop pit is giving me the log. But what I can do is order that. Facing south. Is a path. But I also want the farm over here. So what if bingo. over there. What is this? Aha. Well, sorry, mate. So that was blocking my warehouse. Now I can actually build it closer to the water collector. And another thing I would like to see. Gather's hut. Okay. That's the last thing. And that's also the last thing for today. I have just a bit over 15 minutes left before I have to go to work. So, different time, but all in all, I think I did pretty well today, especially in this game. Thanks for watching. Yeah, my mind is rushing in all directions right now. So, let's recap. The Dawn of Defiance was a little bit shorter than expected. It was fun, but not that much when it comes to the boss fight. Due to the way it's set up, I won't continue my rant regarding that. This game, I think things went a lot better, although what I do have to keep in mind is that my population is having its influence on events. And the first event with the creatures, the smoker wasn't that bad, but that night event with the whites and later some other creatures will be a lot more worse. So I have to start thinking about defense right now. That's for next episode. I think I got quite a lot going at the moment. And so far things are looking good. We have a food production going. I have wood and stone production going. The tool production is starting up soon enough. We have some housing. So all in all, in next episodes, I will put the next parts on, and those are the farm and the fishery, and the hunting, and anything else, and cooking. So farm, fishing, cooking, and hunting. Those four will be set up, and with that, I basically have everything to sustain my village. I will need iron production going, but things will be going. So for now, thanks for being here. Otherwise, I keep rambling on and it's 9 o'clock before I'm finally leaving. Thank you for being here. Everybody who's watching the VOD, I hope you will be enjoying it just as much as I do. Everybody who's watching this on YouTube, I also hope you'll be enjoying this as much as I do. And next week, I'll be back at my normal time. So I hope to see you then. Have a good week, everybody. And I'd say goodbye. And I completely forgot that. So I hope you don't mind that. See you next week.